Welcome to Barn Talk. What happens at the barn stays at the barn until now. We're going to let it all out for you guys.
Here we go. So if you're watching this or listening to this, you are getting the raw first draft. So there hasn't been any dry runs. We finally got all the junk to work, and we sat down and decided that the best way to figure out how it was going to go was just record. And if you're hearing this, we must have decided that it sounded all right. So bear with us. There's probably a few things that we'll have to get dressed up, but we'll get those all buttoned down here before long. So a little bit about us. So I'm Torque, and I guess a little bit of background. If you're not familiar with the YouTube side of our farm, and this is your first time hearing us, I'm a fifth-generation farmer, born and raised here in southeast Iowa, and I've kind of taken a long circle journey to get back to here. So I grew up on this farm raising hogs, and ended up kind of leaving the farm when we got rid of all our hogs. I went to work for a construction company, and then I went to work for another construction company and became a salesman for that company. And then
Specifically for agriculture and hog barns.
yeah,
So
basically I went to work for a company that builds hog buildings.
you went out of the industry, but you kind of were still, like you went out of the hog business, but
Yeah.
you still were kind of in the hog business.
Yeah, when that, a lot of you can identify if you're hog producers, 95, 96, and then 98. And 98 convinced us that we weren't going to stick around with 240 sows farrow to finish. So that was when we quit farrowing, and my dad sure wasn't going to go find something else to do. So it was my turn to go find a job. So first I went to work for a construction company building hog buildings, and I just worked on a crew. And then a little bit later, after a couple years of doing that, I went to work for another company that built buildings, and I was kind of the fire-up guy and oversaw the maintenance. And then that kind of grew, and I became a salesman. And I sold hog buildings for I don't know, 5 or 6 years. I was with them for 15 years altogether. And then I left that company 3 years ago. Well, no, 5 years ago. 5 years ago, and I went to work for Eichelberger Farms in Wayland, Iowa. And that's who we actually feed pigs for today. And I went to work for them and oversaw the field staff, and then came back to the farm full time this last year. And because the guy sitting across from me, he built his first hog building. I've got 3 and he's got 1. And when he decided that he was going to farm full time, I didn't want to miss out on the fun. So I came home, and we're in it together now.
Yeah, so a little bit of background about me. My name's Sawyer. I am a 6th-generation farmer on this farm, and I'm Torque's youngest son. And I don't really have much of a story like Torque because I'm 21 years old, but basically I was in high school and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I always kind of had an interest in agriculture and business and everything like that, so the farm intrigued me. At the time when I was younger, we didn't have Dad didn't build his hog barns yet, and I didn't know if I was going to get into it, but he slowly started building his hog barns, and that was going to give me an opportunity to come to the farm and work right out of high school. So that intrigued me a lot. And I ended up not going to college, and I came back and farmed full time right out of the gate. And some people, I think I took a lot of crap for that because that wasn't very mainstream to do that, and pretty much it's not like that anymore. I think people are starting to realize that college is a little overpriced, and there's nothing wrong with college. It wasn't for me. It's different for every person. But now I'm here full time, and I'm a very I don't know. I guess you could say I'm a hustler. I wanted to make some income off the farm, and I also wanted to do something for the ag community. I saw a lot of just misinformation and misconceptions around the media that was kind of de-promoting or bashing agriculture, and I wanted to do something about it, and I wanted to educate people on what we do, and I saw that as an opportunity as a side hustle and also to help the industry that I'm in a big way. So that's kind of where we're at now. So we have a This'll Do Farm YouTube channel and a brand on Instagram, TikTok, everything like that, and we just kind of show our lives as farmers day to day, and we do the farming and we do that too. So